There's a lot more that goes into the hand than simply the specific cards you have. A lot of it is about the situation as well. And in this spot, I don't think you could blame Sean for going broke here. I could easily be raising with a lot of hands, and so that makes him more prone to going all in to defend against the times on bluffing. And so I don't blame him at all for going in with 2 10s. It was really unfortunate that I had 2 kings. And
just want to like throw your cards in the middle already?
I'm gonna re-raise.
Okay.
The actions on Alec Torelli has been pretty quiet so far here on day 2 at Turning Stone.
1200.
And apparently he was bored because he's raising with 3-4 of hearts.
Torelli is squeezing here like a month-old tube of toothpaste, and it's a good hand to do it with. If you get folds before the flop, very happy about that. If not, there's some pretty cool disguised hands you can make with suited connectors. And he's in position.
Did you start with like 9 or something?
I think I started with a 10.
More than that.
This is 10. So I got 11 behind. So I started with 12.
Alec Torelli definitely knows what he's doing.
Everything we've seen from Alec on Poker Night in America has been just rock solid poker, winning it every session.
And Bart's no slouch either. He's a really good cash game player. He's been teaching it for years. Pay attention to what he does if you want your cash game to improve.
Call.
And he just calls with queens. And I think it's because he knows Alec's pretty likely to be squeezing there. He doesn't want to chase him out of the pot. And Torelli does manage to flop a pair. But my guess is he's going to rep this ace regardless.
Ace just always consider.
Bart's probably not folding for just 1 bet. The problem is he knows whether he's up against an ace or not. He's going to be facing more barrels.
I also noticed that Sean Deeb immediately to Bart Hansen's right is paying very close attention to how he is playing.
2 very good players. You would behoove yourself to pay attention.
And what a turn for Alec Torelli.
Torelli went from bluffing to being able to value bet in the turn of 1 card.
That is a nice gear to shift into. From hoping to knowing.
Yeah. And that's a bad card for Bart because it's a diamond. Puts more wheel possibilities out there. But it looks like a bad card for him, which is good. And Bart's got no diamond, no straight draw. This is a big bet from Torelli, who's probably convinced himself at this point that Bart's got an ace and will call this big bet. And even if Bart calls here, I think there's very few rivers he'll call on.
Well, Hansen's not done with this hand yet. He calls the 3,200. Over 11K in the pot as we go to the river.
That board doesn't get much worse for either hand.
All in.
Hansen checks and Torelli is all in.
Hey, TK, are we getting pizza?
Pizza dude!
Yeah, I just want like sausage on there or something.
Order a Hawaiian and watch all these East Coasters' heads explode. Bart gets away from it. Well done.
You got away with them there.
I think Alec could have played the exact same way if he was bluffing.
Nobody ever believes me.
I believe you.
I would fold there every single time, but I would be wrong a lot.
Matt can confirm I believe you.
2 believers. 3 believers. He folded.
I knew he was doing it, so whatever.
I was doing it pre-flop. How do you know I was doing it?
I knew you hit
You
the
think
ace,
ace-9 offsuit was my slow
I
run
knew you hit
range?
the ace. Go time.
You were well aware.
You won that without a showdown?
Was there 5,000 in that pot, Sean?
You only had 1,600, I know. Sad.
Tom Canuli with Queen 9 suited.
have to win the
Another
pot, not just
November
play it.
niner. Along with this guy, Joe McKeon. You may
first
have
2
heard of him.
bottles
He's
of wine.
become famous.
We got 5 bottles.
You got 5. Was it 4 of Camus?
Oh, okay. She had 5 bottles of Camus only.
Oh, really?
She found 5 downstairs.
Awesome.
And so I told her just to leave them all because you would drink it.
Yeah.
Wow, we've got some top
them
shelf
home. We have a
wine
cooler
that
with
is
us.
coming to the table.
Come on, guys. We all know you're not drinking bottles of wine. You're drinking boxes.
Where are you going back to?
Wine tastes better at right
Where am I going
angles.
back to? Like, where do I live?
Yeah.
Seattle.
Seattle?
Torelli, Canuli, and Deeb. Sounds like a bad law firm going to the flop.
Oh, man, get the popcorn. This is going to be a Blues Brothers style car crash, and Sean Deeb is going to be the Illinois State Police.
I knew you had it on the flop. That's what done.
Torelli is kicking off the pileup with an $800 bet. Sean Deeb doesn't have the worst hand, but he has 0% chance of ending up the winner. And I think he could certainly raise here. Despite the fact that he's drawing dead, it's a draw-heavy board. Folks are very likely to have some kind of piece, especially with a bet and a call already in front of them.
So the number is 3,300 from Deeb, back to Torelli. If you listen carefully, you can actually hear the tap dancing coming out of Alec Torelli's brain.
I'm glad you came to the same conclusion I did, that
He reloaded 125.
he is just tanking here, so he doesn't seem too excited.
125 more.
Take your time, play it cool, don't get the chips in too fast.
Well, the question is, does Torelli want to keep both Canuli and Deeb interested here?
He's gonna flat here. If he tanks this long and then raises, it looks super strong, but yeah, he wants Canuli to call behind.
No
You
longer
survive the
in
turn,
trade.
and then you eliminate one of them.
I mean, if it's a good turn, you don't want to eliminate anyone. All right, Alec, I think you've sold it. Now you're just wasting
I'll
our
still
time.
give you 100 to trade.
Nah.
He finally has made his decision, and that decision is to call.
Smart decision. It's worth more than 100.
And with the odds he's getting and a draw on one end to the nuts, I don't think Canuli can fold. 2,500 to win 8,500.
Their block liquidity desk when they went into the institutional sales.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
What years are we talking about?
I was there.
Oh, baby.
Started in January '99. I worked 304.
Okay.
So
This pot was barely over $1,000 pre-flop, and now we're at 11,000.
Original traders on that desk.
Speed going to rewatch.
And that's it. Canuli and Deeb are drawing dead. And unfortunately for Deeb, he's going to think that he just turned the absolute World's Fair.
He's frying fish at this moment.
He's opening a chain of franchises.
Oh, okay. So like right as I was.
Look at that. Everybody
Leaving
plays
that
it
world.
slow on the turn. And Canuli, of course, he just has queen high. But the two boats out there playing it slow.
What's this? That
ended
blue
up,
drink?
Incredible
Incredible
poker.
What is in that?
Kind
And I
of
think Torelli's got a bet here. Doesn't want to risk he can get two checks behind.
It kept going well. And so I went
85,
to
8,500.
8,500. And how long have you been a pro?
Well, I played when I was in college. For
Stupid
7
hand.
years. And then I went and worked for SIG for 6 years. And then I played since, I left there in 04.
I will be so impressed if Deeb's able to fold this. I mean, he is losing the jacks. He's losing the jack 10,
It's like it's helmet hand all over again.
losing the 10-7, sevens.
I'm probably like 20% tournaments, 80%
But his
cash.
hand's just so strong.
The tournaments, really high variance.
Yeah, I don't think you can realistically fold that.
Threes. Yeah,
And once again, we said it earlier, Alec Torelli is nothing but strong when he plays on Poker Night in America. I see nothing changing my opinion of that play.
poker in between.
Most of them like didn't want to coach. They're just like, oh, I play my game. Like that's what. No offense to you, Tom. It's just like
That
a dumb
seems
thing to do.
insane.
What? Oh, I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I was clearly kidding.
I don't know.
I think that seems
I have,
insane.
yeah.
He told me yesterday he's going out to Vegas like 3 weeks earlier to work with them, like one-on-one,
Okay.
which is
I mean,
a lot more than I'm doing
as
as of right
Yeah.
now.
It's like he's the best
We
player.
are
Like
running
Michael
out of
Jordan has
daylight
coached, you know?
here at
Yeah,
Turning
that's the best
Stone
of them.
tonight. And so if you see maybe people loosening up, that might be wise. The game's going to be coming to end fairly soon.
That's sort of the beauty about poker, though. Poker's like the one game where people wouldn't actually do that. Whereas in other sports, I think it's like so normal for people to
Well, they
to
start
take,
at such a young
to
age.
take that
like, they're-
approach.
They're coached
yeah, to-
before they're the best. They
to
just
be
become-
more humble. Yeah, exactly. Whereas in poker, it's like
No straddle, it's small.
I think though there's
Ace King for
some merit
McKeon.
to
Ace
not
Jack for Torelli.
fundamentally completely altering your game and
Well, that's why,
ending
like-
up in positions where you're just not comfortable playing.
Well, that's why people like, oh, hire
Well,
Steve. I'm like, I
this
think
is
Steve is the
gonna
best tournament
get
player, but
ugly.
he's got a difficult style to adapt to. So he's not probably the best for that situation because you're going to be uncomfortable in all these situations that he will make correct decisions you might not also make.
Not
Right,
now,
you put yourself in
Sean.
spots where you're not used to being.
You should find a coach who has a similar style to you, however it is.
And then
and
help
then you
you-
can work through
or
that.
just like get more help understanding some of the intricacies
Yeah.
or different parts of the game that you don't necessarily
You
understand.
should
as well
have
as
your
other
math
people.
coach and your play coach. It's totally different.
I mean, like I watched Newhouse play last year, and there were a couple spots where like the Newhouse I knew would have bet in spots and put the other guy in really tough situations.
900 the bet from
And he,
McKeon.
like
Both
checked
players
from,
thinking, I'm
medium
trapping the other.
weakness
Watch this.
that in
Yeah.
the past he would have made that
I'm
other
just
guy
afraid it's
try.
gonna be a boring river
And then
card
all
and we're
of a
gonna
sudden
chop
he's
this.
medium weak and they're medium, and he loses a bunch of pots in a row. And
And that's the limit background, getting that thin value over your hand.
Right, but that's one of his huge strengths, right? He
Call
puts
from
the
Torelli.
heat on those people.
Both of them seem to be a little cautious
You know,
as we
like
head to the river.
he's a player who gets a lot of value from putting pressure on opponents and making them guess, and then you take that away.
All right, well,
because
it's no
people tell them
chop.
It's an ICM mistake. It's whatever, you know. At least that's how it looked from the outside. I thought
But if people don't know he adjusted to that style, then it works out really well. Because then they think his range is a lot wider than it actually is.
maybe. I don't know. I think people end up in situations where they're not comfortable too often when they try to change their game.
McKeon bets 2,100.
I think I just call here a lot. I imagine when I raise, it's hard to get paid by a worse hand.
I am going broke every single time here with Ace Jack. They could just keep putting out additional cards after the river, and I'd go broke each and every time.
This is a spot where a lot of people go broke, and they go, what do you expect? I had 3 aces. I was going to go broke. And the best players in the world.
No.
Whoa, no, he doesn't even
So they're
call.
stopping.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a laydown.
We talked about some of the big hands that I folded during the play here on Poker Night in America, and to a casual viewer, it might seem crazy or really, really difficult to fold those hands, but when you take into account the size of the game you're playing and the stakes and your opponents, a much more prudent question to ask yourself, instead of focusing on your own situation, to be asking yourself, what does my opponent think about me here? What does my opponent think about me in this situation? What are they trying to accomplish? And are they really gonna bluff me here? So I always try and literally envision myself in my opponent's shoes and how I would play the hand strategically if I was them.
Said I thought Phil was the second best player of all time. He blocked.
Anytime anybody mentions that hand, instant block. It doesn't matter.
I prefer to call it the auto bone.
I'm sure you would. Let's get to the poker from Seminole Hard Rock. 25.50 are the blinds. Michael Lockey, not to be confused with Phil Locke, immediately to his right, raises with sevens. That's Alec Locke to his left. And this is Josh Lockey. And we'll finish things up here with Asher Locke, if.
Asher Kadiff won the WPT championship, and the two guys to his right were both November Niners. I won't spoil it for you which one of these two November Niners wins it. It's Joe.
What we've been doing is sort of with Phil Torelli, just 200 dead from the big blind.
This
that
is
way
looking like an
it
action
come back.
table.
That's what we did the other two.
I don't know,
switches.
what are you saying? You're anteing every hand now from
No,
the big
just
one?
one person, the big blind.
Three
Yeah,
players to this
for
flop,
everybody.
2,600 in the middle.
They switched it because they found that
Now everybody's got a pair.
Because I don't know, did I switch it to the wrong way? It was one of the two,
Yeah,
and they
you
did
switch it to the wrong way. Be a shocker, Phil. You'd switch something. You get something in your complex mind. Like you have so many details, like layers of
I
details.
may have gotten it wrong. One of them's more efficient, and I remember solving it and then forgetting the answer. So I
Button's
just went
more
on a hunch.
efficient is what we decided, but
Okay. Honestly, I didn't really. I was just guesswork, you know.
we can switch it. Like there's got to be like a way to switch it to the button at some point.
You
Right?
could just do the orbit and then switch it.
Yeah, that's the solution right there. It's an elegant solution. Because then you have the right to reserve it to switch it back if we did a double switchback inception move, Phil Hellman and I not knowing where we were. So we could.
Beckley makes two pair on the turn, but Torelli picks up the flush draw.
Where did Jessica Dolly go? Because she brought up a very interesting thing. She said, Phil Hellmuth on every show disappears for an hour. We don't know where he goes. Where does he? Does he go talk to an astronomer? Does he go for a drive? Does he get a haircut? Does he go for a run? Does he go to his room, take a nap? What is he doing?
He has to keep feeding his meter.
It's true, though.
Refuses to pay for parking in the garage.
It used to be workouts and naps. Now it's like just discussing the flow of people talking and that kind of thing with the producers.
This show has producers.
Kinda like,
Come on.
I don't want to tilt myself and tell people to like be quiet anymore, so I have to discuss with the producers. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, right, yeah, that, yep.
Yeah.
1,300 from Torelli.
I'm completely untilted now because people are going to talk over people. I don't want to be the bad guy anymore, and the show's going to pay the price. They're going to use less episodes, but I don't want to say anything anymore, so I'm off the hook. Woohoo! Thanks for letting me off the hook. I don't have to be the bad guy.
This is amazing. Phil is trying to stop people from talking over him by saying that the show might get canceled if they do. Look, I'm talking over you, Phil. The show's doing just fine.
Helmut's off the hook, that's all I know.
I'm looking at the producers right now, and not a single person is nodding their head.
Beckley calls. Here comes the river.
Oh, and meanwhile, Alec has quietly gone runner on Josh Beckley. Why'd you check the turn, Josh?
What is that? That's all the bright checkers. It's like a peacock.
It's all the checkers, not just the bright ones.
This is a really tough spot for Beckley. 2 pair is usually going to be the best hand. This isn't the worst board for 2 pair, but it's not the best either. Lots of things got there by the end, but the sick part is that this is exactly what Alec would do if he were bluffing also. Good laydown, Josh Beckley.
Sometimes you just want your own time, I guess. Button's good.
This is like...
It was $350.
Isn't that the new term of like upstuck?
Upstuck, yeah. No.
No, now I'm
No,
at,
he
now
was
I'm
up 600.
because I'm at my highest.
If you get back to even, then you're up stuck 800.
Yeah.
You
You're
get
right
it
there in your
correct.
journal.
If you're, up 6 and then you lose 2, you're up stuck 2. You're not up stuck 4. You take the amount you
There's no
lost because you're
200
trying to
this
deliver no information and that
sorry.
you're stuck, but you're up and you can't, so you're delivering the loss number.
Oh, okay,
Right? Doesn't that make more crazy? Yeah. I thought about it and I was like, well, yeah, if you're up stuck,
Phil's missed the whole
you
round.
might as well just communicate nothing.
Yeah,
and
of
just
course.
the
Yeah, he doesn't
up stuck. Well,
benefit
how much
from,
up stuck?
like,
2,200. That just means you're down 2,200 from your peak. You haven't communicated anything.
This upstuck thing is pure
It might
I
be the
hate being
worst.
upstuck. I hate it. I'd rather just be stuck and upstuck. Because I get mad at
There needed to be a name for that, and now there is.
I'd rather be up stuck, I think.
Maybe not.
What does that term mean?
That you're up at one point, but you're not up your peak.
Uh,
So you're still up,
yeah, I
but
prefer
you're not.
upstuck.
Wherever you're at from your
Is it just me, or do poker players make up more terms than any other genre of people?
I'm only in one genre of people, so I don't know.
They make up more than, like, fraternity brothers, I swear.
I've coined a few.
Lace them on me.
Congratulations. It's when you have a friend who finishes in like 3rd or 4th place.
Got it?
All it takes is a chip and a chair. That's one I came up with in 2009.
I think that was somebody else.
Getting to the end.
I
Yeah, it's like
beg to differ.
farewell. No.
Yeah, Asher Kniff made another big fold with strong hand. Nitty nitty bang bang.
You eating all that health food over there, Ash. How's your prep for the November 9 going? Say it's strong.
Pretzels and beer. He's getting there.
You say it's strong to quite strong.
Oh, look at this. Look at this, how
going about-
people
it's
like
going
to
about
put
as
in
good
the
as my day
purple chips.
today.
When I finally play, I get my best hand in a long time. I'm going to share it with you in fold. This was like, I was finally ready to do something, right? You get a little piece of it, and then it just melts away. It's like one of those melty moments.
Is that Queen 3 again?
So Blake Bond makes it 3,000, and now it's back to Torelli. We haven't seen Torelli do a lot of losing on Poker Night in America.
You on, Nick?
Because he just knows what the H is up. He is keeping it 100.
Yeah, to mush them up into baby food.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, well, mush them.
Yeah, you gotta mush them up, put them in a grinder.
Add some, like, apricots or something.
Yeah.
No? They're organic.
It's a high tornation. It's going to hurt.
Secret safe.
Organically salted.
I could wrap them in bacon
I
or
don't
something.
want it.
Why'd you offer that to her and not to the rest of us, you ass?
She's a girl.
Okay.
So why didn't you offer Joe any?
Ouch. Wow, Josh just cracked his first joke in 3 years.
Oh, we missed it.
Basically said that Joe has a vagina.
I like it.
First
Sizzle.
joke in
Good
years.
joke.
Bond's got the advantage of being the aggressor
feel
here.
the burn.
Andy's in position. But I still like Alec.
It's irrelevant. He's getting 7th and I'm getting 1st, so.
Josh is like, good luck, idiot. Smoke you.
I like my spot more than I like your spot.
Of course.
Torelli calls.
It literally.
Here comes the turn.
Okay, maybe now I like Bond. Check to Bond again. I'm not sure a bet would get Alec to fold much better than a 7, so I think Bond might slow down a little
Yeah,
bit.
that really counted. That's where I wanted it. The whole
There's the
life.
check. Show me a river, please.
That was not what I was thinking.
No?
So pair of 7's good.
Never. Yeah, of course.
That was my-
I have no idea what Alec's gonna do here, by the way, but I know whatever it is, it's correct.
Whatever he's doing is what you should do.
Absolutely.
10,500.
Phil's right
Wow.
now online. Look at
Torelli.
strategy for 15.
Banging this
Back.
river.
And now that he's done it, I can tell you this is correct because he's correctly identified that his hand is no good at showdown,
That should be a good
and
thing.
that Bond has got something marginally can fold,
No, you would never want to say
but that would probably beat ace-queen when they table their hands.
I feel like I have the best hand. I still
Well,
feel
that's-
like I'm going to throw it away.
It's an absolutely massive bet on a board where it's hard to be huge.
I mean, I got a pair, and I hate folding pairs. Like, folding sucks.
Folding pairs, folding socks. What's this guy talking about laundry so much for?
Alec Torelli is on a whole different poker level than 98% of the players on this planet.
I really felt like I read the situation right. I had a plan in trapping him the whole time. I thought he was really weak pre-flop. And on the river, I felt like he actually made a pair when I thought that I could represent a hand like aces, kings, or queens by betting. And I just thought that he would fold to a big bet. And so I just put him in a tough spot, and it worked out for me.
Nice hand.
Thanks.
We get it, Alec. You're good at poker. Gah.
I was searching around for a different poker app to play. I stumbled across Poker Night in America. Played it a bunch of times. Every time I go on, there's a different contest to enter. Answered the phone. He told me he won a contest to play on a poker game. I think I hung up on him the first time he called me. Called me back, said, no, you seriously won. Just one click and you're good to go.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough run to.
Hey, you can ante for me every time then. Sound good? Yeah. Oh, we just make Phil ante every hand. Every time he's not here.
Every orbit that he misses.
You guys remember when we nine-handed?
Every orbit he misses.
Well, hey, he's famous.
8-handed poker is so much better though. 9-handed is.
It is.
Again, we're going to argue that you're correct unless Phil is here.
You do not disrespect the Great One while he's not here. You do it like everyone else does, to his face.
Go, like, do more commentary.
Blake Bond's got 6-8, and he continues to play hands there.
Like no one's gonna like.
I think all you gotta do is like
putting it very kindly.
And then we'll play a big pot, and then I'll go do it.
You and me? Don't play big pots. We
I don't
normally
open
have
enough
it by
for
the
anybody
river.
to throw. I never have. I don't have a hand that often.
I only 3-bet you because it's like you open when I have it. If you're in here, I might have it. Let's see.
If you call, I'd be really just. Oh, you just called
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm out
We
of
don't
there.
care. You're folding. You're out of position.
Yeah. Well, I like to call though.
I was gonna say if he called, I was gonna call, but I mean I kind of have to call. I need 2 cards too.
I mean, those cards have to be blank for you.
It's not just
Beckley
me,
getting a great price pre-flop. Well, that's all the 4s out.
Do it yet?
Torelli flops a boat. Beckley also hits a 4.
I mean, flop trips and you have 1% equity.
I want you to know,
Wonderful.
Mike was sitting in your seat before and he paid it like 4 times. So.
And yet it's Blake Bone who's betting, or Bon, whichever you prefer. It's going to be harder for him to win this pot than for Jessica to get the rest of that baby food out of the jar with a fork.
8 times, yeah.
I paid it once this session. I'm probably, like, all of us are supposed to probably paid it like twice by now.
The variance.
At least by the end, yeah.
I mean,
like,
Phil fading this. Honestly, I don't think
It's
there's
a
a 5
joke.
in the deck. I swear.
Torelli and Beckley both smooth call.
Epic fades with Phil. You have a spoon?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Let me look at my purse.
You could have at least gave me like the, let me check.
That was pretty convincing.
If you don't have a spoon, then you're
Does a
far and away
chopstick
ahead.
work?
Well, obviously you have chopsticks.
Obviously. I mean, it's just like, you just have them, always.
Y'all wonder why they can't find anything in
There
their
really isn't a
purses,
reason.
because they're full of
They
chopsticks.
like double as so many. They double as so many.
I don't
things.
think that would help in this situation. I think you're better
I'm
off
thinking about the
sticking.
chopsticks
I'd
thing. I
use
might
the
start
other
carrying
end of the fork.
some around
See,
with me at
that's
all
the
times.
Boy Scout way.
It's more
Put them in
spoon-like.
your hair.
There's
catch flies.
nothing,
Really
there's-
smooth
I
calling
can't
again.
anything You can't use them for it, to
That's
be
right.
honest.
You can stab someone with them, with their eyes or something. It's just
Don't give people ideas.
I'll name something you can't do with chopsticks. Eat baby food out of a jar.
Ding.
I mean, you could, but it'd just be really slow. Excuse me, I've been handed a secret message.
Only Phil can read it because of his goggles.
It's written in a different ink.
He's needed on the mothership. Josh Beckley, by the way, stands to lose a significant amount of money in this hand.
Thanks, Phil.
This is a pretty icy cold deck.
In the meantime, I'm more interested in what's written on that note that Phil Locke is looking at, and Jessica opened another jar of baby food.
Wow, Beckley folds. Josh knows only one of these two jokers can have a 4. He is suspicious. Nice fold. I actually feel like Blake's bet kind of just cost Alec money, because without him in this pot, Josh loses a lot more to Torelli.
River is a 5, and I don't know how much money Blake is going to bet here, but I just have a feeling something's going to be bet. There is no check in this man's game.
Goonies never say die, and neither does Blake Bond.
6,100.
Whew.
Oh, my. The sound you can't hear right now, but should, is Alec Torelli tap dancing.
Yeah, see that face he's making right there? That's the poker player equivalent of doing cartwheels and fist pumping himself into oblivion.
All in.
What does Blake Bond do for a living? And don't say play poker because I'm the funny guy here. He is tilting harder than a pinball machine on the Titanic.
Well, Blake has realized that although it wasn't for trying, he is going to have to fold. Obvious. Everyone knows that you have nothing. You played it valiantly. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just trying.
He's a real good trier. Good night, you princes of poker, you kings of South Florida. Coming up after the break, it's 2 fills, 1 pot.
Phil, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
No goggles.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
write a
what am I
letter
going to
about
do
it.
with this hand?
I'm up stuck $29.75. Y'all saw how much it was.
Am I going to limp?
Limp, yeah, you should limp. I already looked, so you should limp.
I feel like I'm supposed to go 300.
No.
Keep going through it. I'm going to make it 6K next time. Don't worry.
Okay, I'll limp.
I doubled you up just so I have something to
Wow, double limp.
get after.
All right, I'm not even going to bother with you kids. I'm scared.
Oh man, I want to just.
Well, Blake Bond is raising finally with some primo cards.
Wait, this
I'll probably still end up folding pre-flop,
this
but
is
it's still fun, right?
So depressing. I have to fold this.
Okay, you weren't invited.
Yeah.
You.
I got to play.
You don't have to.
I
He
don't
wants to
go
be
home.
up. He doesn't want to be upstuck
You
as
don't
much
have
as he
to,
is.
right?
I just
Hold
lost
on, hold on,
2,900.
time. Everybody, we're good?
For what?
Call, like, that fast?
Yeah, is there anybody else who would like to call the raise? Because he is getting zero respect.
It's because he has yet to show down a winner. I'm really pulling for him here, but it's not looking good.
Check. Why is everybody so quiet?
Trying to hear your heartbeat.
It's beating fast. Don't worry.
The two of us that folded are pretty upset.
That's a big bet.
We wanted to be in the action.
Somehow he knows he doesn't want to see a diamond.
I fold.
Or an ace, or a king, or a queen, or another 9.
So the 2,075 bet is getting rid of some of the clutter.
Of course, Alec Torelli absolutely cannot leave this pot.
I'm all in. Get a 5, huh?
Yeah, I was actually going to do that.
All the chips are in the middle.
No.
I called, so I'm.
Oh.
You want once?
Yep.
Okay, let's go once.
I think Bond played this one perfectly. Oh man, Alec Torelli is so good. Makes the flush twice.
Yeah, pot's too big to fold.
Understand.
So,
For sure. Thank you.
yeah.
Good game.
Good game.
Blake.
Unlucky.
Take care. All right, appreciate it.
I mean, he has like Jack 10 of diamonds.
That's true. He doesn't need to drink.
don't you come
He
up-
actually doesn't need to drink.
Why don't you come up with your own material?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that's Gavin's
Yeah,
term.
it's
What
Gavin's
the
line.
heck?
Well, speaking of material, I think Gavin took a prop bet where he's supposed to do stand-up
Yes.
comedy at some point this year.
Nobody objects. I haven't
Because he's always sending me bits on Facebook. What do you think of this bit,
Maybe I
Stapes? As if I am the expert.
Is most of his comedy now, since he lives in Alaska, moose-based?
There's a couple of moose gags in there.
I don't know how well that plays to the continental United States.
Look, we've all woken up with a moose in our kitchen from time to time.
Not in the frying pan. Up and down draw for can 2. Torelli with pocket kings.
You didn't play the tournament?
No.
Did I already ask you that?
Torelli calls the bet. We go to the turn.
What's your plan for low stop this year?
It's undetermined so far.
Can't you?
You'll be
Still
there.
I'll
semi-bluffing.
be there for some of it.
Okay.
Not as much as in the past.
Yeah, us either. We're not gonna do like full meal deal.
1100.
This summer used to kill me staying out there for almost
Yeah,
2 months.
so long.
Serious.
Call from Torelli.
If I make a bet, it's going to be all in.
All in.
All in. Got it straight. And a call.
Oh,
Boy, that happened so fast, we didn't have time to commentate over it.
The magic of Cantu.
35.50. They never believed me, Gavin.
Well, I think you've earned that.
yeah, when you do have the nickname of
Take it away, boys. I mean, you know, Alec, he's looking, he makes all these weird 3 bets.
No, I know.
yeah, Alec, all your weird
playing
3
Half
bets.
the time.
Plays the internet era, you know?
I know.
And it's funny when like
you know it and I know it. We just
he catches
I didn't have a
like
choice. I
the
had
most
sixes.
he catches the most basic tell and he'll try to go with it, thinking that we don't know of the tell and we're not going to the next level. You know what I mean? It's just it's very basic.
Yeah, but that's
to
what he
play.
has.
I know it's why they. It's why
you can't. They don't know how good we are.
It's why the internet players like all get just.
That's why we're deep every tournament.
Yeah.
These two need to be in a buddy cop movie together.
God, Alec. All I had to do, it didn't matter if
all you had to do was make it 12,000. No big deal.
I know. Oh, you don't. If you don't think I considered that, by the way,
no, I think
I swear on my
you obviously
fucking mother, I considered that.
I think 2,500. I mean, considering it and doing it are different things. So I consider a lot of things.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't do that.
Woo-wee! Wow. Do you see that look? Oh.
He could easily have
Can too. 600.
Raise to 6.
Alec flops trips. Cantu raises his flush draw. So in the Helmuth Cantu buddy cop comedy, I guess Alec Torelli is the villain.
Yeah, good looking, smart.
I'm taking you down, Torelli.
Well dressed. Yeah, you'd make a good villain in that movie. I see him stealing art.
Dog's playing poker. So goes bet call on the turn. Cantu dead to a heart, which he binks. Hey, Mr. Meeseeks, I want you to help me be able to suck out better on the river. Cantu. Nobody? Rick and Morty? All right, fine.
Well, lost me.
I mean, how many people just auto call with trips there? I can see the hands I almost called.
Now you're playing the game, Ship.
Yeah, well.
No quarter given, none asked.
But are you supposed to counter war with a guy who's on your left? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
It's more fun to give him a handicap. Because then if you win, it's, you know.
Okay, yeah, right.
That's Phil's strategy.
They declare war on. I'm the one that invented this. But if they declare war on me, I declare war on them. Right now, I haven't been in a warring mood in the last year, though.
I'm about to declare war on you too.
Yeah. I want to see you do that.
Go ahead.
I think you should.
He's getting there.
He's needling.
Getting close.
I'm in between you guys. I'd like to see
It's 2-on-1.
Nothing,
I'm not at war yet,
oh,
Phil.
come on. Nothing is better than to be in between two guys who are at
What?
war. Then just pick them both off because they're
Way
not
to add
watching
insult to
you.
injury.
But you and I are at war too, so you'd be well. That complicates things.
That's what happened with her.
We haven't seen
She
one
got in
for
the
us
way.
yet, so. Sorry about
That's
that.
the best.
So this is the part right now?
No. Oh, yeah, this is one, but.
But I did teach
See,
Cantu
three
the concept
Kate.
of declaring war.
Just my day.
Check.
Thank you very much.
That was kind of a bad
Can we
run
send you a
there.
drink now, Kate? Shippy, you checked it? Really?
Everyone
Champagne or
checks.
something?
Kate has already declared that she's not much of a drinker.
Champagne is not a
I am
drink.
not a drinker at all.
So that
Chris Hansen, I just quit drinking.
I might reconsider after that last pot, but.
There you go. By the way, 2 flushes just got made on the turn.
He said he wants one. Said put it in
What
the
are
coffee
you
cup.
doing, Roger?
really.
That's what he told me. He said don't let the boss
Helmuth
see.
finds himself once again at the business end of a cold decking.
You kind of just screwed him over there.
Great.
Torelli makes it 1,600.
I'm all in.
Players all in.
Roger finally folds. Don't know what he was doing calling the first 400.
Oh, another flush over flush. It's been a really fun trip.
Hashtag sarcasm.
That's sick, you actually
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
It's the third time in 2 days it's been flush over flush. But usually I have the king high flush, and they have the ace high flush.
Brutal, man.
What is going on here? All I know is
Poker night in America at Seminole Hard Rock, Hollywood, Florida, with Joe Stapleton. I'm Chris Hansen.
I think, or 9.5. No, it's in between.
Looks like we're going to get to watch the world's greatest Phil Hellmuth play a hand.
Pocket kings for the great one.
Everyone got 2 cards, yep. 4 of us have 2 cards.
And a quick straw poll says that nearly 90% of the people at home are calling for hearts on this flop.
And they've got them.
Oh, man. Still, why always an ace in the flop when you have kings? Gah!
Alec Torelli bet 600. Phil Locke calls with his draw. And now to Hellmuth. He calls.
Phil's ahead, but he's going to have to fade hearts.
Well, now the second ace is actually good for Phil Hellmuth, if you ask me.
Yeah, not a terrible card for kings. Checks around.
Oh, boy. That's really an interesting river.
All you people at home wishing for hearts, you forgot about the biggest heart of all, Phil Hellmuth's. I mean, how does Alec not bet this? How did Locke not?
Sir, my name's Phil. What's your name?
Joel.
Joel.
I feel like I shake your hand.
Joel.
I can't.
You can't shake my hand? Can you fist bump? Pleasure to meet you, Joel. Did Alec bet 2 yellow checkers?
I'm glad that he went with the earthly handshake or fist bump. You should see his intergalactic greeting. It's gross.
He bet 2 yellow checkers. I have yellow checkers.
Oh, Phil is so good. Even though he's got the nut flush, he knows it's pretty tough to get a raise paid off by worse.
Hellmuth and his small stack is in.
Sometimes it 1,050.
Sometimes it falls apart. Yeah.
Sometimes it can't be a bluff.
Joel, can you pull in 2K from all the players involved in this hand?
And shake by hand. Just joshing you, Joe, but seriously, shake it.
Thanks.
Just couldn't say no to those pot odds.
I mean, I don't know how I could ever fold.
King's full.
We know. Unfortunately, they were getting like 10 to 1.
Yeah, and there goes the flushes down the toilet. So Phil Hellmuth bought in for $5K. He's well on his way to running that up to a nice, juicy $20K.
Imagine where he'd be if he'd bought it for 20. Probably broke.
Yeah, I would create a plan and then go with it.
O'Hara calls.
But a few plans have gone wrong today, so I mean.
200 yards, and then I had to call the shop to come and get me.
Alec getting some pretty juicy pot odds, but maybe he's thinking of 3-betting. Oh, hell yeah, Queen 10 suited. It's gonna thin the field a little bit.
Falling like the leaves off a tree. There they go.
It's a beautiful image you painted, Chris.
You're welcome. They're orange, red. It's beautiful.
Reminds me of fall foliage tours I took as a child with my parents, who I hate, thanks.
And that's why I didn't raise this hand.
Hellmuth will probably be folding.
Yeah, A7, ugh.
There it goes.
O'Hara's got Torelli dominated, though I would give the post-flop edge to Alec Torelli. He is out of position, however.
Look at that. Torelli out flopping O'Hara.
O'Hara's got decent equity in this hand, though. 40% of the time, he will end up the winner at Showdown. Alec giving this a good think, I think, because this will hit both of their ranges pretty hard.
$900 the bet from Torelli.
It's time to build something. That's what it is. I can feel the build time is here. So wait.
O'Hara calls.
Check.
Bay, come over. Interesting check from Alec. He must think it's going to be pretty tough to get 3 full streets with a pair of 10s. I think O'Hara takes the free card here. Nope.
He's going to make Torelli pay to see the river. Asking price is $1,850, please.
Little under half pot. He might think he can get Alec to fold some of his ace-high hands.
I could have been a 7th grade science teacher.
Torelli calls, we're going to the river.
I would have appreciated, you know,
I think your students would have liked it.
a class like Introduction to Physical Science and have the little bleakers and the
students would have liked them, but the parents would have been a little concerned.
Phil, that was pretty good.
That was solid.
That was
Very I'll give you credit. That was
Does
strong.
he have one more bet in him to try to take down this
He'd have
pot?
been a legend. New students would come and go,
There's
you ever
a
had
goal-
lot
there's a
for
little bit of goal
science?
in that one.
Alex in the perfect check call spot. All the draws missed.
The kids would be okay under my tutelage.
If you walked in the first day, he's wearing the ski mask, he'd be like,
He
He's
gives
wearing
up.
the ski mask and spouting like illogical statements.
Alex shows he can beat queen high. Ship it to Torelli.
Action on Alec Torelli.
Raising with 5-4 suited, knows he's likely to get some salad folds.
Seriously, we're poker players
It
here.
doesn't have to turn.
What's with the salads?
Obviously, could
Phil Locke's doing it right. He ordered a salad, but in his goggles, he's eating a steak.
Also, I just made it small.
Smart.
I might as well call out a position.
And we're watching Jeff Gross chew.
Small raise, I let you in.
Who isn't having a good time yet?
Yeah. If he's the lot
I don't know, probably everyone is eating a salad.
I'd be honored.
Now we're up to 1,000 from Ian O'Hara and his ace-king.
I do not know much about his game, but I know we've seen him play exactly 2 hands.
can't help competitive, and when someone gets away with like bad playing against me, like repeatedly, I just so tilted. I'm gonna play tighter again.
Oh boy, this could be the worst thing that happened to Ian O'Hara since that mustache he was sporting a while back. Yeesh.
You're not drinking, Schwartz.
Yeah. I mean, if
You're telling stories about like going to bed at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sold anything.
No, but it's
1,000 is the bet, and there's the call from Torelli.
I think he just calls there pretty much always.
let's go out. But
Alec is never supposed to have a 5 here.
environment.
And since Ian doesn't have a diamond, he may slow down.
Gets a big
Guys,
charity
telling us,
event
you know.
down here. Get some of the Heat players and get a big event
And I
down
do not expect Alec to give a free river, not with those diamonds out there.
I'm sure Luol Deng would get involved.
2,500 the bet from Torelli.
I need like,
Unfortunately for Ian, there are lots of worse hands that Torelli would bet there.
Sure, it could be arranged.
I'm a Golden State Warrior guy.
I understand. We're all aware of that.
I watched a Golden State Warriors game with Phil once. He knew all the players' names and everything.
All in.
Alec keeps on firing, and this time he empties the clip. Puts O'Hara in a nasty spot. He cannot be feeling good right now.
O'Hara calls him off, and Torelli is winning a monster pot.
Thank you.
Brutal.
Oof.
It's so sick how good Torelli runs. Just so sick.
Just been to the home improvement store and bought a bug zapper that day. Still had it with the receipt in his car. Didn't have enough money to cover the bet and put a bug zapper into the middle of the table.
Sounds like a really sick game.
JG could have had ace king, but you know, I think he started out.
Sad
with
thing
some
is he
decent-
won and took the bug zapper back, and no one had to return it to cash in. Should have been a tell. If somebody is confident enough to put in a new bug zapper, they probably have got the nuts.
You know, that's where the term the nuts comes from. It's someone was so confident in their hand that they would bet the nuts from their wagon.
Burn myself.
So now we'll have to call the nuts the bug zapper.
There you go.
I mean, who would be crazy enough to bet a bug zapper without it being on the nuts? Aces for Torelli, 7s for Silverman, and he flops a set up and down for Newman. Jeff Gross, 8 high. Torelli was the pre-flop aggressor. He continues here with his overpair.
All right, Stapleton, does this pot go over 20,000?
We'll have to check out the turn. 20,000 maybe. Does it get to bug zapper status? I'm not sure.
We're at 4,300 now, as the bet was 900 and got a couple of callers. Let's go to the turn. What the deuce?
I think Torelli really could go for 3 streets if this board doesn't get much worse. He's very unlikely to be behind right now.
There comes 2,200.
Of course, we know he is behind to Silverman's set of 7s.
And if you are Silverman, there is exactly nothing on this board that scares you right now. Not try to eliminate a player. You'll even keep a player with a weak draw in to see the river.
And Stuart Newman, or as I like to call him, Stu New, he's still drawn to the nuts, so he should be going nowhere. Just a call.
Well, we're over halfway there. We're approaching 11,000 in the pot now as all 3 players want to see that river. And it is a 9, and the ship has come in for Stu New. Can I call him Stu New, or is that just a you and him thing?
That's my gift to the world.
Thank you. And he's first act.
Now he's going to lead out at this. Very interesting. That's 3,300 into a pot of just over 10K. I'd be pretty surprised to see Alec Torelli pay this off.
Do you think both of them are going to fold?
I think a set of 7s has to call once Torelli folds, but he hasn't acted yet. Let's see what he does.
Torelli folds, and yeah, I agree with you. Silverman has to pay him off here.
I think Newman could bet this with King Jack or King 9.
So
Rivered again.
I knew to raise the turn.
And we didn't get the 20K. If you took the under, you win tonight, $17,000. No, you don't win that.
Straddle is on. Ian O'Hara in for a hundo.
Helmuth raises it to 300 with ace-9.
Helmuth loves the old ace-9. I don't fax with that.
Now we're even, JG.
Oh, come on in, Silverman.
Looks like PBF is in.
Come on, all the cool kids are doing it. Call, call.
Ian O'Hara is going to need to have 2 blanks. Wow, he folds the King 4 despite getting ridiculous pot odds.
If I bet a normal amount, he can raise all
And he would have flopped top pair, and it would have been the best hand. Womp womp.
Don't have to worry about that.
Well, he's got the best hand here with ace-jack. He made a pair of jacks on the flop. Both Silverman and Sideman paired their 7.
Show the table, ace hearts, and go, what is going on here?
Yeah, and just be frustrated.
Checks around.
That's the only way for me to win that pot. Say all in.
Deuce on the turn.
But I didn't have the heart to say it.
Who was the guy who used to bet quack quack all the time?
Jeff Gross picks up a flush draw.
Paul McGraw? 22. I just thought of him. He always bet in the 2s.
I have not seen Paul McGrail in a long time.
23.
I haven't thought of that name in almost a decade.
From 22.
For some inexplicable reason, Phil Hellmuth has bet here thinking he can get 4 folds. Not very likely. And what would Hellmuth bet now that he wouldn't continue with on the flop? Torelli calls. I don't think Silverman can stick around with 3rd pair. Nope. Conversely, wow, Jeff Gross folds the flush draw. People actually fold flush draws?
Not when I play.
No.
Another jack on the river for Torelli.
Hellmuth wisely waves the white flag.
That's really messed up. I was going to say the exact same thing.
Really?
Like I was about to just say that.
I would say that we share a brain, but that would mean that we both have half a brain. Actually, that's probably generous.
I'm going to get a speech after this hand for sure.
Hellmuth calls.
Wow. Phil puts on the cape.
No, that had me beat.
Oh, it did?
And immediately falls flat on his face.
Okay. Thought I got lucky on you in the end.
No, you did not. Pair of jacks was good.
I really like goat products. Like I like goat cheese. I had goat butter recently.
You guys, I'm not gonna clickbait you. You probably will believe what happens in this next video, but it is also very entertaining.